Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Culture Wave Media Network. We are back for another review for the Tribeca Film Festival of 2025. This film we're going to be talking about is called Awry. I am one of your hosts for this episode. My name is Darian Scalamoni. I am joined by Liz Seiko.
What's going on?
We were excited for this movie going into it. This was probably one of our most anticipated films of the fest. And I didn't know much going into it, actually. Like, I just knew that there was it's a romantic comedy. And I knew that it was led by Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman, which to me is like a formidable sort of young actor pair up that I was excited to kind of see how their chemistry would play. And it is a concept that is quite frankly terrifying, but also in a way where it could play into really great comedic hijinks. So this is in the trailer. It's not giving anything away, but essentially what happens is Gordon plays a character named Iris, Logan Lerman plays a character named Isaac, and they are going on their first romantic weekend getaway, essentially. And they try to spice things up in the bedroom. Handcuffs are involved. And then there is a realization by Molly Gordon's character that their relationship might not be as deep.
It's very one-sided.
Yeah. It's more so that she feels that they're officially a couple, to which Logan Lerman's like, I just thought we were hanging out. And, and then a lot of the movie, he is chained to the bed.
Yeah.
Essentially. And so on the onset, I want to start by saying I think this movie has a lot of great comedic beats. And it's written and directed by Sophie Brooks, who also, Molly Gordon was a co-writer on this film. And I was reading right before we started recording that Brooks was basically waiting to write her second film. And her agent during COVID was like, you should write something that you could film quickly during COVID. And she wrote this script in 2.5 weeks with Molly Gordon. And then it winded up getting pushed to even start production until 2024. So the COVID thing didn't even happen. But for you, Liz, broad thoughts on what you thought of this movie coming out of our screening at Tribeca.
Broad thoughts was the first half is so funny. Very well done. A really tight script. Not just like slight laughs. Like I was full on laughing out loud at moments. I think that Molly Gordon is just, I knew that she was going to be hysterical though, because I love theater camp so much. And a part of it is because of her. She just is able to like really hit this like fine line of being realistic, but like a hysterical realistic. It's not like she's doing stand-up comedy. She's actually doing real comedy that people can relate to and almost have like seen in their real life. So she was amazing. I mean, Logan Lerman for me was just like, he's always going to be a little bit of a heartthrob too. So to see him like back on screen in this type of role where you're like, oh, he's fallen in love with the girl. We love it. And so the first half I would say is very strong. And then the storyline starts to progress into a place where the characters are trying to figure out, like themselves, they're trying to figure out what to do about the situation, which kind of then feels and translates that the film itself is trying to figure out what to do. And it's almost like the writer and director didn't necessarily know where to fill this middle space besides having the characters like try to figure it out themselves. So it starts to meander a little bit in the middle, which kind of is a bummer because it started so strong and I was like, this is hysterical. There's so many places it can go. It's almost like a comedy version of Misery in a way too. So it could have gone to like these crazy places. And unfortunately the middle for me just kind of started lacking. And then the ending, it does come back a little bit in the end, but I don't think it's as satisfying as an ending because the beginning was so powerful.
Yeah, I think the setup for this movie is one of the best we saw at the festival.
Yeah.
Where it has a great idea. And we were talking after the screening about how it felt like they had this really great idea and they were like, oh my God, what a great idea for a romantic comedy. This is such a hilarious scenario that obviously, honestly, probably could have happened in situations. It's very realistic that could happen.
It's happened to me. No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I can't. But the thing is, that, like you said, you get to the midpoint of the movie and you get the introduction of her friends, Max, who's played by Geraldine Viswanathan, and Kenny, played by John Reynolds, who I think John Reynolds is hilarious in this movie. But like you said, it starts to kind of lose its footing midway through the movie to where, not that it's necessarily boring, but you're just like, okay, the comedic beats aren't hitting as much. They've been doing this whole kind of shtick now for a little bit too long, like 20 minutes and like an hour and a half long movie. So it has that point in the middle where it kind of starts to stall out a little bit. But I do agree. I think the way that the film wraps up in the end actually makes it like a nice little package.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Lerman and Molly Gordon and their chemistry, both through humor and honestly through the romance that we get, they're a very believable couple.
Yeah.
And it's great to see how their chemistry kind of radiates off the screen. And I think that's a big part of how they got this going. Originally, I know Sophie Brooks was talking about how she wrote the script with John Reynolds and Molly Gordon in mind. And I'm curious, like, I wonder if like they were originally the couple and they decided to pivot because Reynolds was more of the comedic heart of the movie, where Logan Lerman, like you said, has that
leading man.
Yeah, he has that element to him. So
could be.
Yeah, I just think that it's a very watchable movie. I think it's one where, like, when it comes on streaming, I think it's going to do very, very well. It's like a great date night movie. And it just feels, it's a simple kind of story. It's something where like you said, it's literally misery with a romance and a comedic element to it. Yeah. So,
well, I also think, like, if John Reynolds was going to be playing Isaac, who's the lead, the one thing about Isaac's character, which I really love, is they kind of paint the picture of the guy being the asshole douchebag and the girl being like the crazy girl in a breakup. I don't know if John Reynolds would have came off as such like an asshole douchebag versus like just like a goofy, lovable guy.
Yeah, he's like dorky.
Yeah. And so like for me, like Logan Lerman, he leans into that of being like the douchebag bro that's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, we're like hooking up and like I've been dating you for 3 months, but like we're not dating, man. And so I think he's able to accomplish that better than John Reynolds.
Yeah, and I think they do it. I don't want to give away necessarily the scene, but the way they set up his character in the beginning of the film at a strawberry stand, and then it transitions into like seeing the other side of Isaac, where you kind of forget about that, even though that's something that's planted in your head in the beginning. That's why I think the setup is so well done for this movie.
The first 45 minutes is really good.
Really, really great. But yeah, I think it's, like I said, I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Still an enjoyable movie, very watchable, very fun. I just wanted a little bit more from it. I thought it was going to be like one of the bigger standouts of the festival, and to me, it was a good movie. Yeah. It just wasn't kind of exceeding my expectations. Kind of how I thought.
Well, the moment that instead of taking off, it starts to just kind of like stay on the same note, which, with such a powerful takeoff, it was kind of like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
100%.
But still very entertaining, very fun.
Yes, and this movie comes out for limited release July 25th, I believe it is, with Sony Pictures Classics. So you guys will be able to check this out in theaters, hopefully by you. But that is our review for Oh Hi. Let us know in the comments if you guys also were at Tribeca or you saw it at a previous festival, what you guys thought about it. Give this video a like if you guys can. Subscribe to us here at the Culture Wave Media Network. We have a bunch of other reviews already up for Tribeca and a bunch more coming for you guys. So check all that out. And you guys can follow us on social media. All that stuff is below me. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on Threads. A bunch of places. You can check out all our content. So thank you guys for watching. Just signing off. I'm Darian Scalamoni.
I am Liz Seiko.
And we'll see you guys next time.
This is The Culture.